Mill Creek, Iowa. Population 1,204. A place where front porches outnumber streetlights and everybody knows everybody's dog by name. It was the kind of town where life moved slow, with gossip faster than the internet. And for the Carson family, life on their modest corn farm was simple, routine, and rooted in tradition. That is, until the early morning of September 3, 2022. 17-year-old Eli Carson, the youngest of 3 siblings, was found dead in the field behind the old red barn. His body, discovered by his father during morning rounds, was twisted unnaturally, face down in the dew-soaked soil. A single gunshot wound to the back of his head. The sheriff called it an execution. The town called it unimaginable. The investigation would soon reveal Eli wasn't just a farm boy with a bright future. He was living a double life, one that no one in Mill Creek could have imagined. What followed was a year-long descent into secrets, betrayal, and a criminal underworld hidden behind barn doors. As investigators peel back the layers, they'll uncover how deep the darkness ran, and who really wanted Eli Carson dead. On the surface, Eli was everything Mill Creek valued. Quarterback of the football team. Polite. Church-going. Straight-A student. But even in a town built on tradition, cracks can form where no one expects them. After the discovery of his journal, authorities learned Eli had become involved in something far more dangerous than anyone could have predicted. Through interviews with friends, family, and classmates, this episode explores Eli's recent changes, quitting football, distancing from church, and his growing paranoia. A closer look at his journal entries paints a portrait of a boy in over his head. Someone who knew too much and feared for his life. Suspicion grows when a secret drawer in his bedroom reveals a revolver, thousands in cash, and cryptic notes about drops and trips. Was Eli simply a teenage courier, or was he part of something bigger? A gas station on Highway 26 offers the first real lead. Surveillance footage of a dark sedan pulling in just hours before Eli's death. The men inside weren't locals. One had been seen speaking to Eli at the county fair. As Sheriff Dan Mullins struggles with the mounting pressure, he turns to the Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation for help. This episode dives deep into the arrival of these outsiders and how they targeted small-town teens to push product with little risk. Locals begin to recall strange cars parked by the cornfields, unfamiliar faces at bonfire parties, and a sudden uptick in THC cartridges among high schoolers. The outsiders weren't just visitors. They had roots. And Eli had ties. Friends Jamie, Lex, and Ryan were the closest people to Eli in his final months. One by one, detectives pull them into interviews. Jamie is the first to crack under pressure, revealing that Eli had been acting as a middleman for THC vapes. But things escalated when he got into debt with the supplier, someone known only as K. Lex is quieter, more guarded. But her diary reveals she and Eli had a romantic connection. She feared for him. She had begged him to leave the operation. Ryan is defensive. He insists he knew nothing. But his name shows up in Eli's burner phone log multiple times. In this episode, friendships begin to fracture as lies are exposed. And a chilling picture of Eli's final weeks starts to form. Investigators follow the digital breadcrumbs. The burner phone is traced back to a gas station in Davenport. They map out Eli's communication web, revealing cryptic messages with K. Forensic linguists are brought in to decode the language. Threats are implied. Mistakes aren't tolerated. And the final exchange is haunting. Drop was light. If this happens again, we'll handle it our way. K. I'm out. You'll get the rest by Friday. He died Thursday night. Using this timeline, law enforcement focuses on establishing a motive and building a case for premeditated murder. But without the weapon or a confession, it's all still circumstantial. A second search of the Carsons' property uncovers more than anyone expected. Underneath hay bales in the far barn, a duffel bag is found, $8,000 in cash, hundreds of empty cartridges, a ledger with initials and dates, and an envelope marked RH. Ryan Hughes. Ryan is brought in again. Under pressure, he reveals Eli had compiled evidence, audio files, names, maybe even video. Eli had threatened to turn it over to police. Not because he wanted justice, but because he wanted out. He feared for his life. The investigation leads to Rockford, Illinois, where local authorities raid a suspected operation hub. Inside, they find ledgers matching Eli's, and a name, Kendrick Rowe, aka K. Kendrick is no stranger to law enforcement. A former enforcer turned mid-level drug coordinator, he specialized in small-town expansion. Quiet, unassuming towns like Mill Creek. He's arrested, but his alibi is tight. There's still no physical proof connecting him to Eli's murder. Until someone flips. Lex finally breaks. After weeks of silence, she turns over a flash drive Eli had given her, just in case. On it, a video, grainy and dark, but with clear audio. It's Kendrick, in the Carson's barn. "You back out now, you sign your death warrant, boy." The tape is the turning point. It ties Kendrick to the crime scene. With a warrant, police seize his phone. GPS pings place him in Mill Creek the night of the murder. This episode features the courtroom drama as Kendrick is arraigned, his defense scrambles, and the town braces for what comes next. The trial divides Mill Creek. Rumors swirl that Eli's older brother had been involved. That maybe the family farm was more than a farm. The Carsons remain silent. The prosecution presents the video, the journal, the burner phone logs. The defense attacks Eli's credibility, portraying him as a reckless teen in over his head. The jury deliberates for 3 days. Meanwhile, Mill Creek descends into suspicion. An arson attack destroys the Carson's barn. Jamie moves to Nebraska. Lex testifies, then disappears from social media. Ryan is seen less and less. The verdict shocks everyone. Kendrick Rowe is convicted of conspiracy to commit murder and sentenced to 42 years. But the murder charge itself doesn't stick. Not enough direct evidence. No one else is ever arrested. A year later, Carson Field is dedicated at the high school. Some attend. Many stay away. The sheriff retires quietly. The Carsons relocate. The story ends not with resolution, but with echoes. Eli's death wasn't just a tragedy. It was a reckoning for a town that prided itself on knowing its own. And somewhere, buried under cornrows and silence, more secrets may still lie in wait.